It's time to get ready for drag challenge.
Break it down.
Can of Coke on a Saturday morning, Bags.
Change it up a little bit.
That's a first. A brand new OEM windage tray is on. We had to space it up 3mm. We had to modify the sump just to give us a little bit of clearance. So that's all done. So hopefully that solves our oil blowing out all over the track and Hoff getting blamed for it.
A couple of minutes and you can see all that tar just wants to come off the top.
It's not tar, mate, it's rubber.
Rubber
From the Kumos.
Yeah.
A little bit of pre-drag challenge maintenance is all we're doing. We're just checking our coolant pressure, making sure what the gasket says in relation to what the coolant pressure sensor is trying to tell us down the track. Man, there's 7 individual layers, including the little stopper layer in one of these Saruda gaskets. This is actually the first time we've really pulled one apart. Looking at this firing setup from Bullet, you could actually put that into a sleeved stock block. The spot I can see is right there, possibly next to that water jacket. Everything else, it's not too bad. We're covering all bases here. We don't want oil trying to come out into that catch can again. So another thing we've done was remove the baffle plate out of here, which it doesn't really get used because we've blocked off the original breather, but we have 2 -10 breathers coming out of here. So maybe, just maybe, it might have been flicking oil out because that wasn't there. Probably not, but we want to be safe. Oh, we're getting good at this. What do you reckon, Roberto? So our new drag challenge tyres are a 235 60 15. The writing is in metric, so Street Machine will be happy. And as we did say last year, that the 8.5s that we've got are only 215mm instead of a 235. So now they don't clear our guards, so we've got to get the jack handle out. I've wired in the little Anderson plug here. Now that allows us to charge the trailer while we're going along. So the little battery in the trailer, that'll keep our lights going and our fridge going, all going to plan. We also finally put in a safety point for the safety chain. Last time I had it off here, which would have done nothing if we lost the whole drawbar anyway. Another little modification on a super cheap SAS wheel we did this morning was just a matter now of just unscrewing one screw to remove the trans brake and bump buttons when we're driving on the street so they don't get in the way. No tools required. That's what I'm sort of trying to aim for. I'm sick of having to go and find tools every time we need to do such a simple job. We used to have to get a 10mm socket to pull the air cleaner out. Now it's just a matter of pulling that ring, which is connected to an R-clip, and that comes out. Once again, no tools required. Another real simple one that every car should have now after putting one in, a little boot stay. Once we added the weight of the wing, the springs on the boot were no longer strong enough. So now I've just got a little stay. It doesn't require 2 people to fill up the tank anymore. So while someone's filling up, someone else can be loading the fridge. We've also anodized the methanol tank just to stop it trying to corrode from the methanol itself. So hopefully that'll make the tank last longer. We won't have to get Dan back on the tools too soon. I'm pretty proud of our latest invention. This little tap for cleaning our hands. Just a matter of pulling it around, turn the tap on, and we got 12 litres of water ready to go. Nothing worse than having dirt on your hands when you're trying to drink beer. Today we're going to see if the 7-second streetcar can tow this trailer. And a quick check of the tail lights, and we're ready to hit the road. Far out, Dan, it's like we never got out of the car, mate.
Like it was yesterday.
And you wouldn't even know it was a 7-second car, eh?
Yeah, I'm surprised now that my daily does.
Cruising along, it's not bumpy anymore.
It's not loud. Temperatures are perfect. Everything is perfect.
Aircon would be nice though, I do agree. Yeah. Righto, the traffic tester. Are we going to get hot?
She's good.
Oh, success number one. I think we got to about 93, 94 degrees on the trans while we're driving down the highway, so that's good. That's 20 degrees less than what it used to. Oh, is it going to make it back to the Gold Coast, mate?
Never let you down.
Oh, so far successful. We've only got 50 k's to go. Oh, very successful, very successful. Righto, let's go and see what Dan learned from the last drag challenge. One of those things, a big important one, was take as minimal off the car as possible. What do you reckon, Dan?
Definitely. I can remember when we went to a couple of the tracks, Mildura in particular, it was like 11 or midnight, and the bloke next to us, he was putting his seats back in exhaust. We coming from racing, and then we have the trailer on and we're driving out of the track within 10, 15 minutes. Some people were, an hour to get back on the road.
Yeah.
So, if you're already having a bad day and you have that hour or so to put the car back together in street mode, it's pretty painful. So we just try to keep everything easy and a minimum. Accommodation on the fly, we sort of learned from the last one. From the Portland to Mildura stint was about 700 kilometres, and we didn't finish at Portland. We actually got out, one of the first ones to get out of Portland, and we left at about 1 o'clock. So there was people that didn't get out of there till about 5 o'clock, and they had a 700 kilometre drive in front of them. So, if you've already got pre-booked accommodation and you've not got to make it, it's sort of a waste of money and you've got to find somewhere else again along the way. So this time we sort of just got somewhere booked for the first and last night, and then we're just going to wing it on the fly as we go. Routine jobs, so everyone on the crew sort of has their own particular things to do. Otherwise, if everyone just sort of jumps in and does whatever, you might get on the road and someone's forgot to do something or someone forgot to do something up. Floor space on the trailer organisation is definitely a big one. I mean, Brennan's built this thing now and it's fully decked out and set up and everything's very easy to get to. When we went last time, we just had U-Haul trailer and it's just an open box trailer pretty much with a lid on it, and if you needed something at the front of the trailer that was under a mountain of stuff, it's a disaster to get to. So we're going to the split fuel system now, unleaded for street driving and then methanol for racing. Obviously they're two completely separate fuel systems, so we've made this so user-friendly that it goes from street mode to race mode with one press of a button. We don't have to drain any fuel, nothing at all. So
I love how we keep telling people that's such a cool system.
So back to this, that's the whole comeback to the simplicity of going to the track and going to race mode. We don't have to do very minimal, we just press a button and that's it. But in terms of also now us running methanol, Pump E85 is always a bit of a concern before the last one. Especially in places like Mildura, E85 is not around, obviously, because it's so remote and in the middle of the country. And then when you do find E85 at places, E85 consistency is a big thing, at that sort of power level. And in places like that, if the ethanol percentage is down a little bit, that can, do a world of hurt to the engine. So us changing to that consistent methanol now as a race fuel definitely helps that side of things. 91 unleaded, we can literally just pull in anywhere. And we only have we plan on taking about 80 litres of methanol with us, and that should do us the whole week of racing. So instead of us carrying 200 kilograms of fuel for no reason, we don't have to worry about that now, which makes it easier on the engine, the trailer, and just towing in general. So sensors on sensors is another good one for your car, temperatures, pressures, all that stuff. Obviously monitoring everything, the driving stints, we do 7 hours, 5 hours at a time towing. It's quite harsh on the car and the motor and the driveline. So definitely always constantly watching sensors. As you leave, as the engine's cool and you leave somewhere, driving half an hour down the road, heat soak and stuff can start to set in, and the temperatures can start to rise. And if you're not constantly looking at that stuff, it can obviously lead to fatal things. So sensor monitoring is definitely a key thing to keep an eye on when you're driving. Make sure your trailer's got a fucking jockey whip.
Oh, even better. Over and out.
Well, that was interesting.
Break it down.